All right, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, I'm super glad to see all of you at our another Toastmaster meeting. Thanks for joining in. I'm here to serve as a usual reminder of a couple of rules here before the meeting. The first rule is to keep your mic muted if you do not speak, and not to forget to unmute your mic if you are going to speak. And the second rule is to smile. As we know, we are being public club, and photos and videos are taken, are published on our social platforms. So make sure you smile all the time. That's it for me now. I'd like to pass the stage to our president, Mr. Walter Schwarz. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. As it stated in your subscription, grammarian and joke master. Alexander, glad to have you here and haven't seen you for a while. Everyone, I very warmly welcome you to our meeting, our Merry Christmas meeting for today. A warm welcome to everyone who's joining us for the first time. For everyone who's not aware of the fact what Toastmaster is a speaking club allowing you to becoming a member and practicing your speech presence in front of an audience you're familiar with or not yet familiar with various topics. So for everyone who's new with us, enjoy looking into the agenda, into the roles every member has, and consider becoming a member of these clubs. If you have any questions, just type it into the chat to me or to Randal or to Michael, and we'll come back to you with those. Apart from that, I would love to hand over and open our meeting for today with introducing our Toastmaster of the day, but I think it's not the Toastmaster, it says TMOD. I haven't found out what OD is, but it states that Michael Claus, as Santa Claus, will guide us through today's Merry Christmas meeting. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Michael Claus to guide our meeting today.
Merry Christmas to everybody. And bah humbug to those people who don't smile. It's that time of year, folks. Time for Christmas, time to make a little bit of joy. We have had one hell of a bad year, and excuse that French, but we've had a bad year for most of us. In lockdown, walking around with masks on our face. We can't hear what people say. Been a terrible year. Not good for many folks. If we could, the people that we need to thank the most are our caregivers that are in the hospitals, the doctors and the nurses. They are working like crazy 24/7 and really having a tough time. If you happen to see one of them or know one of them, be sure you tell them thank you for your service, because they're doing a super job and it's a hard job. We just passed up Thanksgiving, and during Thanksgiving, we were asking people, what are you thankful for? So if you were at our Thanksgiving meeting, you know we asked that question. Well, this is our Christmas meeting, so I'm going to ask you a different question. Today, I'll be asking everybody on the screen, especially when you're introduced to do your jobs, what do you want Santa to bring you for Christmas? Now, I'm going to ask you to be a little bit greedy. You've been a good boy and a good girl. Be a little bit greedy. Don't say that we want world peace. Don't say we want to solve world hunger for Christmas. Something for you, something you personally want. Get a little greedy. Think about what you want. Oh, for me, it's a 20-year-old bottle of Noi Cognac. Oh, I can just taste it. Santa brings me one almost every year, and boy, I can't wait to get that. It really, really tastes good, especially when I have a good Cuban cigar to go with it. You know, that's a great way to bring in the new year with that 20-year-old cognac and a good cigar. We need to start things off right. And I know that not all of you are 100% fluent in English. For almost all of you, it's the second language for you. So I'm going to play a song, and it has the words on the screen. And I'm going to ask everybody, please turn on your microphone. Everybody, please turn on your microphone. I still see several off yet. Everybody turn your microphone on. I'm going to turn this on, and we're going to sing together. And when it's done, I'll come back and talk to you a little bit more. But right now, we need to bring in the season the best way we know how. And I just thought for the heck of it, we would start it off with a fun song, something a little bit more humorous, something not so quite so serious. And we're going to sing Jingle Bells. If you follow the words, you'll be doing just fine. I know many of you are from around the world, as we see in the screen, from Doha and from Japan and other places, and from Ireland you're in, many different places. I'm not sure how familiar you are with a Western or American style Christmas a little bit. So I'm brought a couple songs along today, and Jingle Bells is one we learned as a little bitty child, and we sing it all of our life, and it usually makes us smile. I'll be giving you one more song during the break and one at the closure today. And I just hope that everybody tries to relax and have a little bit of fun, because that's what the spirit of Christmas is. Christmas is not one day long or one song. Christmas is about happiness all year long. And that's what we're going to try and do. So today, I'm going to have to introduce my team of people that I have who are going to be helping me as Toastmaster today. And I want to first talk about a little bit about our evaluation team. We're going to have a grammarian, and the grammarian is going to give us the word of the day and tell us a little bit more about his responsibility. And Alexander Kim is filling that role of grammarian. Alexander, will you tell us what's going to happen for the grammarian today?
Absolutely, Michael Kloss. As a grammarian, I will today pay close attention to the language that our speakers speak, especially any misusages. I will take notes of them, and some outstanding words, phrases, or quotes. At the end of the meeting, well, closer to the end, I will present my report. And now I'd like to say that the word of the day is upbeat, which means optimistic, cheerful, full of hope, full of happiness, as Michael said, and good feelings. An example of this word would be, I like a story with an upbeat ending, or she was feeling upbeat about her new job. Make sure you use this word of the day as much as you can, and you might receive a Christmas gift at the end of the meeting. That's it for me now. Back to you, Michael.
Very good. Thank you, Alexander. Alexander, you know, I might give you my job, because right now my brother Santa is so busy. What I normally do is I make a list of saying who's naughty and nice. And it sounds like what you're doing is going to be similar to that. You're going to be finding out who's naughty and nice during the meeting. So you might be in for that job. I would ask Alexander, you do one more thing for me. Please put that word of the day into the chat so everybody can see it, so they can understand just a little bit about how it's spelt. If you'll do that for us, we would appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. I also have an counter today, and he's brand new, just got assigned, one of my new elves. This elf lives over in Ireland, and as I bring him in, I'm going to have to ask this elf a question. Sergey, what would you like to have for Christmas? Got to get a little bit greedy now. What one gift would you like to get for Christmas?
Very tough question. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. A lot of things are on my list, and I'm not sure that I have so much to expect from Santa, but probably the best thing, the greatest thing that I would like is to find some way to move from Tralee to Dublin, because that's where I want to be in the next few years. So that's my dream and my goal for the next year. But I still will stay in Ireland, because that's my country, despite me being from Saint Petersburg, and I'm not going to change Ireland to anything else. So far, it's the best place for me in the world.
Okay. And what about your duties as an counter?
So about my duties, our counter. I'm going to count all the strange sounds that people make, like not also those sounds, but the crutch words like well, anyway, and anything that people put in the middle of sentence instead of the good old pause. Pause is undervalued in this world. Use pauses, people. Use pauses wisely. And I will not count you. Otherwise, you will get on my report. Merry Christmas.
Very good. Thank you, Sergey. You know, I think I'm going to also maybe recommend you to take my job like I did with Alexander Kim. He's also checking people. So you guys sound like you're learning, and that's very, very good. You can be Santa's helpers. You can upgrade from being an elf to Santa's helper if you are able to do some of those chores. I was remiss when I introduced Alexander Kim, and I forgot something. Alexander, I need for you to tell me what it is you want for Christmas. Santa forgot to ask.
Oh, what I want is simple. I want a new PlayStation 5 for a Christmas, for my birthday, for anything else. That's something that I really, really want.
Okay, very good. We'll see if we can put that on the list for you. Thank you, Alexander. I appreciate that. Today, we also have a timer. And I'm not sure right now in the earlier assignments if that is Walter or Randal. Which one is the timer for the evening?
It's Walter today.
It's
Hello,
Walter.
everyone.
Yes, Walter. Before you tell us about what the timer is going to do on measuring the speeches today, monitoring them, I'd like to know what gift would you like to have for Christmas? What single gift would you like to see underneath your Christmas tree?
Probably nothing, actually. I would not want to receive anything under my Christmas tree. I wish that the person I would love to spend Christmas would be just next to me, no matter where I am. And especially in these times, expecting something material, I don't find this necessary to be misguiding. I'll take your cigar, probably, and that will be it.
Okay, and I got extra Cubans, and I'll see if I can manage to get one over to your place for Christmas so that you can have one underneath your tree. I want people to get a little bit greedy. I know that most people don't think it's proper to be greedy at this time of year, but I'd like to hear what people have in their wishes. Santa can't give you everything, but he can give you some gifts if you ask for them. Randall, what are you going to do as your job as a timer?
That's okay. My name is Walter. I'm gonna do today being a timer. I know it's a tradition one, Mike. I know that. Being as a timer today, dear ladies and gentlemen, I will measure the speeches and the table topic speeches and make sure that everyone is in time frame. Due to the fact that our agenda is restricted and we have several parts, we have boundaries when it comes to several slots. And I'm going to show these boundaries to the people who speak so that they can pin me. So guys, feel free to pin me when you start your speeches so that you can see what time scale you are at now. This would be the green one, so everything is fine and you're okay. This is the yellow one, where you should be aware of the ending soon to come. And this is the red one, that means you're beyond the limit. Thank you very much. And back to you, Michael Claus.
We have a general evaluator today, and our general evaluator is going to be Konstantin Kuts. Konstantin, what is it that you would like to see underneath your tree for Christmas?
Well, I don't really have an answer for this question, but maybe I would like to see a new laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, and going forward with my role, greetings fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the general evaluator is to evaluate everything what is happening during the meeting, throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I will take notes on everything what is happening and what is not happening. I will evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, especially enthusiasm, observation, and performance of the duties. At the end of the meeting, I will give you back my report. Thank you. Back to you, Michael.
Very good. Thank you very, very much. We have one additional job here that not all clubs have it, and some clubs call it by different names. We call it the Quizmaster. And today our Quizmaster is going to be Rami Saeed. I don't see him on the screen. There. Oh, yes, I do. He's a fellow worker with me. Obviously, he's a fellow worker. Rami, what do you want underneath your Christmas tree?
I have everything I want in my Christmas tree. I have all of your gifts and everything. But I will definitely will make use of your cognac 20-year-old.
There you go. Okay. Because otherwise you're going to get a lump of coal, and we don't want you to get a lump of coal. So you got to get something.
Yes.
Okay. And what are you going to do as quizmaster?
So today I will be asking 6 to 8 questions throughout the presentation from every person's participation. This is in order to make sure that everyone is upbeat and everyone is focused and listening, and so that you get the chance to show your upbeat character and participate in the speech. If you're shy, this is a wonderful way for you to put it out there. So I wish you all to listen and understand everything and enjoy your time. And Merry Christmas.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. We have an additional duty of table topics master, but I'm going to wait and introduce that person just prior to them doing table topics instead of introducing them now. I'm going to hold that off and do that a little bit later. So now we're ready to get into the main part of our presentation today. We have 3 speakers, Rami Saeed, Irina Nosova, and Shinsaku Kitano. So quite a wide variety, one from UAE, one from local, and one from Japan. So who's to say our speakers aren't worldwide? They're all over the world. So we're going to have to hear what they have to say today. Our first speaker is Rami Saeed, and he's going to be doing in his pathway called Engaging Humor. He's going to be doing level 1, speech 4, which is researching and presenting. His evaluator today for Rami, if I can find the evaluator, is going to be Walter. Walter, will you tell us what you're going to be looking for in his speech?
Yes, Michael Klaus, thank you very much. Rami is aiming towards a humorous speech, and he wants to give us some data and insight about a particular topic, but he wants to improve his engagement levels. He wants to make sure that not only he's providing information which are dry and yes, probably with lots of numbers and statistics, but make it more lively and engaging for the audience, for the human being he's talking to, especially and particularly in the virtual life we are all now. And this is going to be something what I'm going to looking for. Thank you very much. Michael
Very
Klaus.
good, Walter. Thank you. Rami, I have as your name of your speech, the only chance. Is that still correct? Okay, so today we have Rami Saeed with The Only Chance. The Only Chance by Rami Saeed. Rami, it's yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Michael. Dear members and guests, I would like to share with you when I was young and my dream. Remember when you were younger and you were dreaming and having all kinds of imagination, you would sit in your room and you would start having these teacup parties, you would start having things. My thing is I used to have a tent in my room. I remember when I was 6 and I was having all of these imaginations. My mom was the dragon. She was bringing me the hot cocoa. I would imagine that it's like a lava drink. And I would go with this castle and I would be fighting all kinds of battles. And I would go into, it flies and it does all kinds of things. We have this imagination, and this was my childhood dream. I realized when I came to Russia that, oh my God, this is what I want in my life. This is where I need to go. I saw one of the cabins, the wooden cabins in the winter under the snow. And I was like, that's it. That's where I want to live. And that's what I want to relax from my busy schedule during the weekdays over the weekends, which is the so-called dacha style kind of thing. So how will I do this? How will I realize? Is it something that I can do quickly, or is it something that requires planning? Apparently, after reading a few books and articles online and talking to some experts, I realized that this is something that needs a little bit more. And apparently, it sums up to 3 things. First of all, you need the place, location. Second is skills. Third is purpose. So I'm going to take you through these and explain each quickly. So the first thing is location. So you've got to choose a place that's not only beautiful and that fits everything in your dreams. Imagine the perfect scene from the window of your perfect cabin. And also it has to be a place that's safe, that's been in a camp, and there's people that tested 4 seasons at least and seen all of the animal migrations, all of the changes, winter, how is the rain, and so on. And also it has to have infrastructure. And for example, for me, the perfect place is a place with internet, or a place with pizza delivery, let's say, or emergency services. I mean, I am a pampered little guy. I love my luxuries. And that's the best place to be upbeat about whatever plan you want to do. So the second thing is community. Like community, there has to be people going around. There's some flow of tourists and so on, so that you are not bored, because obviously living in a camp. So this is all when it comes to location. The second thing is skills. So you cannot just come like that antisocial person and sit behind the computer or be very private in your cabin. You have to actually go and interact with people. So you have to have people skills. You have to know how to approach. You might even need to lead some things. You need to do some projects. There might be emergencies where you need to solve the situation. So life in the woods can be a little more demanding in terms of these skills. The second thing is camping skills. Okay, how good is your first aid? How good is your ability to repair a roof that's cracked, or for example, making a fire? So these are the things in terms of skills that you require. The third thing is your purpose. Why are you coming here? It's obviously, it is very boring to go to a wooden chalet and spend time if you don't have your purpose. So like, what do you love to do? Do you have that book that you've been trying to finish, for example? That's one thing. The second thing is, let's say you love doing meditation. So it's a wonderful place to put your mat there and to connect with nature and to relax yourself from the upbeat lifestyle of the city. Or for example, if you have piano that you would like to use, I mean, that's also something that's for you. What's your purpose? Why are you coming here? For you to realize when you're in that dream cabin. And second thing you need to do is that you have a need not only to yourself, but to the others. What are you going to offer the community? What are you going to offer the other campers around? What role would you play in this whole system? For example, are you going to help milk the cow, or are you going to go help guide the people through trails, something exciting perhaps, or be the singer at the fire at night every night? What role will you do to give and fulfill for all of this location? So now we can see that it's not just a simple thing that to go, but you need to actually plan it. So we have covered location. Location is important for safety and beauty and everything. Then we have your skills, which essentially helps you to be able to navigate through your dream. The third thing is the purpose, which is the why. Why are you going through? I hope that this shows you or helps you to see how you can move your dream into reality, which is something that I've done from my dream to reality, childhood dream, and so on. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and all the best in your venture. Thank you.
Thank you, Rami. Thank you very, very much. Don't forget that when you build a dasha, don't invite me unless you have a fireplace. You have a fireplace, I'll be happy to come. No fireplace, I don't come. So I like to have a nice fireplace where I can sit down and relax and watch those flames while I sip my cognac and smoke my cigar. So, oh, by the way, smoking inside your cabin too, must allow it. Got to have all these little things. Otherwise, you're not going to keep myself and my brother happy. And if you don't keep Michael and Santa Claus happy, you're going to have problems come Christmas time. You need to keep us happy. Okay, our second speaker today is Irina Nosova. And Irina, I'm not quite sure what she's up to. She's been up and down and around in the last several months and a lot of different places doing different things. And part of it was her own fault, and part of it was just nature's fault, and just things that just seem to happen sometimes. So, Irina, I'm curious, what do you like for Christmas? What do you want?
Okay, you know, I'm pushing 30, And yeah, I realized it's the time to reinvent my image, my wardrobe, my looks, and so on, because I'm not a rebellious teenager anymore. I am moving towards being an elegant woman. So what I would like to do, yesterday, actually, I had a visit from a stylist where we talked about my wardrobe and my clothes. And it turns out I have to get rid of, well, 60% of it. So now I am, well, completely naked in terms of my basic clothes, and what I would love in the new year is to have my new wardrobe, my new clothes. I'm not sure if you can put it under the tree, but you get the idea, you get the concept.
I got it. And if we gave you one dress at a time or one outfit at a time, it would take you several years, and by that time you wouldn't be able to wear them all. So you need to have a little bit bigger budget and get a good selection of them. Very, very good. Okay, today Irina is going to give us a speech from her presentation mastery level 2, number 2. And her evaluator is going to be Valeria bad with names. Kholodkova. Okay, sorry, Valeria, I'm terrible with the names. And she's gonna be our evaluator. Valeria, what would you like to have for Christmas, dear?
Oh, Mike, I think I would like to have a ticket to Thailand and total immunity for traveling anywhere I want and getting back to the situation that was there a year ago. So yeah, that would be the best present from Santa Claus.
I can't change the situation, but we might.
But you can buy me a ticket.
They might be able to get you a ticket there, possibly. Larry, what are you going to look for today in Irina's speech?
You know what? Communication works for those who work on it, said John Powell, a famous English composer. And today, Irina is going to tell us and analyze different communicational styles and identify her own style or styles that she prefers in communicating with people, reaching her goals. And maybe she will share the impact of her style on others, us, friends, colleagues, environment, community. So I'm looking forward to learning more about Irina and her communicational style.
Very good. Thank you very much, Valeria. Okay. Irina, I assume your speech is still called My Communication Style. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct. Okay. So it's Irina Nosova with My Communication Style. My Communication Style, Irina Nosova.
Yes, thank you. All right. Yes, as Valeria said, this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about. I learned about different communication styles, and I think I identified my primary style because, it can be just one thing. It's usually a compilation of things. So I'm going to demonstrate my screen to show you what I got. Let's see. Can you guys see what's on my screen? Yes, fantastic. So as you can see, the test provided by toastmasters.org or .com identified me, my communication style, as direct and supportive. And you can see the descriptions on the screen for yourself. I must say I agree with what they have to say in those descriptions. And I see 3 major fields where my communication is vividly seen and how it influences my professional and my personal work. A little disclaimer, this speech might sound like an utterly self-centered, piece. Please do not think of me as a selfish person. This is just the goal of my speech. The first big field where my communication style is seen is with my students, because I'm a teacher of English. And my job has shaped my communication style very strongly. I must say that I have to be diplomatic with my students. You can't overreact. You can't be too emotional with things that you disagree with and so on. So keeping a poker face at all times is vital, is crucial. I also have to be supportive for my students. Otherwise, they wouldn't trust me, they wouldn't open up to me, and I wouldn't see what I'm supposed to be helping them with. I also have to be open and honest, because nobody wants to only hear the good things about their studies. They want to see their weak spots, to work on them harder. So yeah, you have to, you know, pluck up your courage to be honest with your students. These were the positive things about my professional communication style. Some of the negative ones is I realized recently that I'm not a team player, fortunately or unfortunately, you know, because in my classroom, I'm the leader, I'm the navigator, I'm the facilitator, I'm everything, right? And I usually have the eyes of my students turned towards me. And when I am in the situation of competition, I might get quite competitive. So not a team player, perhaps that's a bad thing. This is something that I think I need to learn to work on, because there are a lot of situations in real life beside my classroom where I have to be a part of the team, step down out of the spotlight to give way to others. Another thing that people usually say about teachers, that people who lack power can acquire it by becoming teachers. And a lot of people, a lot of teachers are actually, they just want to dominate. They just want to show who is the boss and so on. So I'm not quite sure if it's me, but again, I can be blindfolded by everything else going on in my life. I'd like to think I'm not that person. And another thing in my professional life, another environment that I quite often find myself in is among other teachers. So this is where I might become competitive, but in a good way, because I know and I appreciate other people's efforts, background stories, and so on, because they can deliver it so well. They can talk about these things so well. I can say that before I was quite entitled to my own opinion, even stubborn sometimes. But nowadays, again, maybe because I'm pushing 30, maybe because of some other reasons, I am a little bit more flexible. So by the way, on the screen now, you can see the second primary type of communication that the website, after taking a test, showed me. As for my personal life, you know, it's a little bit different. I'm more of a supportive person than a leader. With my friends, who are very different people with different characters, different occupations, and so on, I can step down. I am quite flexible. And I'm very glad that I don't have to be the center of attention, you know, 100% of the time I'm awake. This works for me just fine. In fact, my ideal weekend would be a quite introversial one, Netflix and chill, as it's called. And moreover, my husband is an introvert. So when it comes to distributing the roles in the society for both of us, this plays out really, really well. When we need to do something where talking to other people is involved, this is on me, right? Everything else is on my husband. But when it comes to choosing the way of spending time together, we can't agree more with each other, because what we prefer is something quiet, something introversial. Can I adjust? Is the question that I might ask myself. I'd like to say yes, you know, but this all comes with experience and constant self-development. That is all from me. Thank you very much.
I'm afraid, Irina, you caught Santa Claus, or excuse me, Michael Claus sleeping. We've had such, right this time of year, we've been working almost 24/7, and sometimes when we're listening, we have a tendency to fall off. So I apologize. That happens sometimes. You know, he's a hardworking guy and he drives us very, very hard. Thank you very much for that upbeat type of speech. We enjoyed it. You know, that's the whole thing. We heard Rami talk about that. We heard you talk about it. And now we're going to hear a third person. And this person comes from far away. He's been in our club before. And before I introduce him or find out about his speech, I need to find out, Shinsaku, what do you want underneath your Christmas tree? What would you like?
No, I'm not a Christian, so because
That's
there's
okay.
no Christmas present.
No. Okay, so if somebody could give you a gift, doesn't have to be Christmas, just a gift. What gift would you like to get?
You get, oh, Christmas. Oh, some kind of travel ticket. Now the COVID-19.
Okay, all right. You have an opportunity that somebody can bring you a gift. We just need to find out what it is we'd like to have. We're going to have today as a third evaluator. Who took the Olga? Did Olga take that? Walter took it. Okay. Walter, if you'll tell us a little bit about, you told us what you wanted for Christmas already, so I don't have to ask you again, although you can change your mind if you wish. It's not too late. It's not the 25th yet. You can still change. But
Okay.
we'd like to find out, what are you going to look for in Shinsaku's speech today?
Okay, to your first question, dear Santa Michael, I'll have the cigar and now the wine you prefer with my cigar. This is my second wish. Thanks for taking this into consideration. Coming back to Shinsaku's speech, which we will hear in a minute or so, the Shinsaku's task today is to provide an informative speech. The definition of an informative speech is a so-called report. To provide a report which can be on various topics, it can describe a situation, an event, or a problem. And his goal is going to be to provide this in a very interesting and appealing way to the audience.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you. And I'll have to be careful. I'm very choosy about my wine, so you have to be careful what you're going to ask for there. Okay, Shinsaku, we're going to listen to your speech, and it is fact-finding. So I'd like to introduce you and then have you give your speech, 5 to 7 minutes. This is Shinsaku Kintanto with fact-finding report. Fact-finding report, Shinsaku Kintanto. It's yours, please.
Thank you very much. So I'm very appreciated today's speech and a chance to speak. So because today I'm a very I thought that this Toastmaster Club members mostly live in the Saint Petersburg. So because today I'm prepared to speak to it's some kind of connect with before I met Russian with the connect with Saint Petersburg, but it's quite not suitable topic. Okay, so in Japan, the Russian came to the Japan. There was there are two big waves. The first is it's about 100 years ago with the Russian Revolution. At that time, many Russians came to Japan, and some is returned to the Russia. But even though some stay settle in the Japan, whole my life before I met some that kind of descendant, it's a quarter Russian. It's a 7 or 8. And also, it's a quite an interesting story before I heard. Some Russian, it's about 100 years ago, came to Japan. And she was a ballerina. And also, she studied to ballet class in Japan. And also, at that time, most youngest daughter in the Romanov, with their bodies they don't find in Russia. So because she said, oh, she said, oh, I was her. So she said that she was the youngest daughter in the Romanov. So this story, talking with a Russian girl, she graduated Saint Petersburg University. So I told this story to her that she said, in those days, many that kind of women there were in the Russia, mostly the 100. And also I said, she is one of them. But even though in those days, some Japanese believe that her story or her, and also to I met her from Saint Petersburg, and also they came to Japan. Some is quite one guy. He is quite it's a smart. He said graduate to that's most Saint Petersburg State University is 1 year earlier, and he moved to French, and also he joined to Paris Political Institute. And he said half of French president graduated that school, and after he came to Japan, and he joined to Waseda University. Maybe you don't know the Waseda University, but the Murakami Haruki is the graduate of that school. There's many Russians know the Haruki Murakami, and also he said that he graduated Waseda University, and after he moved to Cambridge in the UK, and I don't contact with him, so because and after I don't know the. Oh, so on one girl, she from Sakhalin, and she was her mother was indigenous in Sakhalin, and also her father is she said to Uzbekistan was somewhere, and also she graduated Sakhalin State University, and also she became to a Japanese teacher in there, and after she came to Japan and studied to a Japanese language, and one day I met her. She said that she's quite worried about because her young sister is moved to Saint Petersburg. I asked her, "Почему?" So she replied for me, "Потому что Saint Petersburg is a capital of skinhead." So because she worried about that one. So I'm the if I have to go to Saint Petersburg when I become to a skinhead. That's it. Thank you very much. Back to the TMOD. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Shinsaku, I came to Russia in 2003 or 4. I don't remember which it was, one of those 2 years. And ever since I've been here, the question that I find people ask the most or think about the most, and there's so many books about, and there's been movies about, what happened to that last Romanov? Where did that last Romanov go to? That's a huge, huge mystery, and nobody knows for sure except for that person. And I don't know if anybody else knows, but that's always been a question they've been asking that I've heard as a foreigner since I've been here. So thank you very, very much. I believe that takes care of our 3 speakers. I need a timer's report from our timer. How did we do on our timing for our 3 speakers?
Dear Mr. Toastmaster, here we go. The timing report is speaker number 1, Rami, was at 5 minutes and 40. That is totally in time. Speaker number 2 was Irina with 6 minutes 13, which is also totally in time. And speaker number 3, Shinsaku, was also green rated with 5 minutes and 48, which is all makes all eligible for the vote.
Very, very good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Randal, are you going to do the voting online for our people to put it in the chat box so we can vote on our best speaker? I think he's working on that now. It looks like it.
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming.
It's just a little bit slow, but it's going to be there. I'm sure it is. While that's coming, before that shows up, there it is right now. It's online. It's on the chat box. If you go into the chat box and click on there, you can vote on who you would like to have vote for as the best speaker. And again, that's your choice. Please vote. And after you vote, come back here because we've got some other people that I need to talk to before we get into our break, which we're going to have in just a couple minutes. I'd like to find out our new Valeria Gargarina, Valeria. Yes. What would you like for Christmas, Valeria?
Well, I already got so many gifts that it's really greedy to ask for more this year. But if Santa is so generous, I would like to have a new Canon mirrorless camera because I want to continue with my hobby, which is photography. Yes.
Very, very, very good. Very, very good. Glad to hear that. So I'm trying to think, how about Elena? Elena doesn't have a duty today. So Elena Vilieva? Elena, are you there? I see her on the screen. I see her name on the screen. I don't know if she's there or not. I guess she's not there. And I know Olga's around. Olga, you have your screen off, but I don't think you have a duty today. Olga, are you there?
Yes, Michael.
There you are. You're in Namibia. What would you like for Christmas, young lady?
Okay, let's go extravagant. Let's say a nice grand piano that I can chuck in the corner of a living room and enjoy over the holidays to play on.
Very, very good. Good choice. That can last you a lifetime, not just one time. So that's a big gift and could last you a lifetime. That's a wonderful thing. Okay, if I look at my schedule correctly, which I'm trying to read my notes while we're going through here, we have got everything done. We voted for the speakers, speeches have been given, and it's time for our break. And Walter, we're going to take a 10-minute break, if I'm not mistaken. That's our usual 10-minute break. And before we go on our 10-minute break, or I should say, while we're on our 10-minute break, I'm going to have something, if I can find it. Where did I go to here? I'm going to have to find it while you're on break. I'm going to have to find it on break. While you're on break, I will find a nice song, Christmas song for you to sing. And it's going to be an American Christmas song with titles on it again. But maybe you don't know this one as well because it's not as popular as all of them, but it is a fun one. So we will enjoy it. If you all will look at your watch or your cell phone, whatever you're going to use for a timing device, look at it now and then add 10 minutes on it. We'll start up promptly 10 minutes from now. Thank you all. See you in 10 minutes.
Happy holidays, folks, wherever you may be.
Okay. I think everybody's back, or almost everybody's back. We got one or two who are not quite here yet. And I told you that we were going to sing another song. So we're going to sing another song. This one is a little bit more childish or a little bit more young focused. And it's about something that some of you have done, but maybe you didn't know there was a song about it. Have you ever built a snowman before? Have you ever took a small clump of snow and rolled it and rolled it and rolled it till it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then put them on top, 2, 3, 4 together, whatever. Put a couple of stones in their eyes, put a little hat on there, maybe a carrot in the nose. So I'm not sure you're aware of it. Maybe you already know all this already, and maybe everything I'm saying is redundant. But we have a song about that in America. And I'd like to share that song with you. And it's got the words. You can sing along. I'm sure you're going to know most of them already, but you're more than welcome. Very good. Yay. Bring out all the children. Bring out all the little children in the group, you know?
One can tell it's a speaking club, not a singers club.
Oh, turn that off. Who said this? Who's doing this?
The CMA had issued a scheme.
Michael, what's wrong with you? Can't get screen share stopped. There we go. Boy, oh boy. Sorry about that, gang. I pressed the wrong button. That happens sometimes. Okay. Where did Marina go? I told Marina when we were on break, we come back, I was going to ask her what she wanted for Christmas. Marina, what would you like to have, dear?
Okay, so my greedy wish would be to have a puppy for Christmas. It's kind of like a kiddish wish. But I realized that in order to have a dog in my small apartment, I guess, and I have a specific wish for a specific type of dog. I would like to have a husky. So, and realize that husky needs a little bit more space. So in order to get a husky, I need to build a house first and then get a husky. So I would like to have a house, Mr. Klaus.
Okay, start with a house possibly, and then afterwards, see maybe if you're a good girl during the year, maybe next year at the end of the year, you can get your dog to go with the house. But let's get you a house first where the dog's going to have space. We'll see. Okay, now it's time for our table topics. And, no, I got a head shaking no. I'm sorry?
It is time, please, for our joke master of the day, who would love to open up with the second half with the joke, as being missed out by myself on the first half. And that's why, please, joke master Alexander, hand over to you, and then you please hand over back to Michael Klaus. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Michael. Continuing the topic of not being greedy, you know who are greedy? Children. They are not humble, they say what they want, and they are okay with it. So here is a story to prove that. A teacher asks her students to do something good over the weekend to get Christmas gifts. Now, on the next day, the first kid says, I gave money to a homeless man. The second kid says, I helped my mom with the chores. Now the third kid says, I helped an old lady to cross the street. The teacher was super surprised with all the kids and had very high hopes for the fourth one. Now the fourth kid says, I prevented a murder, Miss Teacher. The teacher looks amazed and asks the kid how he managed to do this. Now the kid replies, self-control. That's it for me now. Back to you, Michael Klaus.
I'm glad Walter had self-control and didn't kill me when I tried to go on with table topics. So he has self-control also. Thank you, Walter. And thank you, Mr. Alexander Kim. Thank you very, very much. We added Joke Master in about 3 months ago or so, and we've been trying to go along with it. And each time we're looking for other people who are willing to stretch themselves a little bit and step out of the box and give a joke publicly. Not everybody wants to do that. So that's a great job, Alexander. Super. All right. All right, table topics. Our table topics master is Rudolph the Black-Nosed Reindeer. And I would like to find out from Mr. Black-Nosed Reindeer, better known as Toastmaster Randal Eastman, what would you like for Christmas?
Michael, thank you very much. I was thinking about it. I thought it got a little bit greedy and I said, I want a Land Rover, and I want a white Land Rover.
Very good. We'll put it on the list.
And preferably with a little credit card to gas it up for the next couple years.
No, don't get overboard with white Land Rover. I add it to the list. I got it marked. No problem. Okay. So I'm going to turn it over to our table topics master. You have got it for the next several minutes, and it's all yours.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here with you, fellow Toastmasters. Michael Klaus, Toastmaster of the Day. I, as you can see, have some antlers on. And as you have noticed in the theme of our meeting today, we are singing some songs and reaching back to our childhoods, in Michael's case to the USA and myself to Canada. And I thought about this. I needed a topic today for our table topics, and I immediately thought about reindeer. And I thought about reindeer because there are a bunch of reindeer. And this is a bunch of reindeer in popular culture in North America. And I made a little presentation, which I will share here in a crafty way. Just 1 second, so you can see. Okay. Now, we don't have a lot of time, so I don't want to go into too much detail, but I found this very interesting. Why in North America do we think that Santa has reindeer, and why do we think actually about a reindeer named Rudolph? And there's a reason for this. Now, most of you on the screen are actually not from North America, but this North American or I would say American popular culture has spread rapidly throughout the world, and even in China now, which is very much an atheist state officially. Christmas is celebrated, and people are dressing up with funny hats and things like that. So the origin goes back to 1837, when a man named Clement Clark Moore penned a poem, and at first it was anonymous, and then he eventually attached his name to it. It was called A Visit from St. Nicholas, and it's popularly known as "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." And inside this poem, he mentioned, he told a tale about a father who is sitting at home at night on Christmas Eve. The children have just gone to bed, and he hears this sound outside. So he looks outside, and he can see in the sky that there is a sleigh being pulled by some reindeer with this man on top who is actually St. Nicholas. And the sleigh comes jingling over towards his house. It lands on the roof, and St. Nicholas climbs down the chimney, and he's watching this quietly from a distance. St. Nicholas climbs down through the chimney with a big bag of toys, and he places toys into the stockings that are hanging on the fireplace for the children. He fills them up, and he climbs back up the chimney, and as he's going off to the next house in the sleigh, he cries out, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." So this is 1837 that this poem was published, and it's penetrated into North American popular culture. And it sprung something new in 1939. A man named Robert L. May, who was a writer, was hired by the Montgomery Ward department store chain to create a Christmas gift, which was a coloring book for children. And he wrote a story around for that coloring book, which was called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer basically it's a tale. It's like the tale of the ugly duckling. It's about a underdog who overcomes some obstacles and then becomes cherished and beloved by all the other reindeer around him. If you don't know the tale, then you can certainly, let me pop over here and show it to you. This is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So it became very popular, and it reflects the 9th reindeer in the crowd. And if we just look back slightly here, there were 8 reindeer initially introduced in 1837 in this poem. The names Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blixen. They look a little bit Germanic. There's actually, I think, more Dutch. Originally, they became a little bit more Germanized. But these are the 8 reindeer that we think of when we sing songs and read stories in North America. And then out came Rudolph. So Rudolph became a hit with the kids. 10 years later, it became the focus of a popular song sung by a man named Gene Autry, who had a Christmas album. It's a very happy song. And 10 years after that, it became the subject of a more funky, upbeat, frenetic song by Chuck Berry called Run, Rudolph, Run. So it's deeply imprinted in the minds of people in North America. And that's why we see at Christmas time, lots of imagery of Santa with a sleigh, with reindeer, red noses. We dress up, we drink Glühwein with antlers on our head. And we celebrate reindeer, but we don't actually know that much about them. Now, coming from Canada, which is a bitterly cold country, where we also claim to own Santa Claus. We say Santa comes from our far north and he comes down at Christmas time. We also have reindeer. In our country, they're called caribou, which is from an Indian word, but they're actually from the same family ultimately. And we also don't know that much about reindeer. So the objective today in our table topic session, which is a chance for all of you to speak for 1 to 2 minutes in an impromptu fashion as a reindeer theme. So what I want you to do, everyone who's here, I want you to choose, I want you to type into the group chat your name if you are willing to participate. And if we don't get enough willing volunteers, then we'll volunteer some people. You can choose your own reindeer if you want to choose. I've got 8 different scenarios here. What will happen is I will read out the question. I'll type it into the group chat and read it out. And then you will have a few seconds to think about it. And then you should speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And this is a chance for everybody who's in the meeting to participate. So I'll just make a little note here quickly. If you can please, people put your names in there. I've got Michael is Vixen. Sergey is Comet. And Anna is Dancer. And Irina is Donor. That's 4. We need 4 more. 4 more willing victims. Sorry, willing participants, not victims, willing participants. Rami is Cupid. 3 more. 3 more. This is easy. This is fun.
Yes, give me one name, please. I just can't manage to switch.
Okay, I'll put your name down here.
Put Walter down.
I'll put Walter.
Oh, there we go.
You can.
How about Marina? And Marina, you're not a member yet. How about you participating, Marina?
Would Marina like to do?
Yeah, she just did.
Oh, Marina has her name, so you can't have comments because he's taken.
Oh,
What's available?
What's left?
You
Dasher,
could be
Vixen,
Dasher.
Blitzen.
Okay.
Dasher.
You could be Dasher.
Thank you.
Dasher.
Okay, Dasher. I need 2 more. I need 2 more. Who's being quiet here today?
How about our quiz master, Anna? Anna Soldatova.
Anna, would you like to be a? I couldn't hear if that was a yes or a no.
Was that yes or no? We couldn't hear, dear.
One. I'm dancer.
Oh, dancer. Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're already here.
Ah, see?
All right, let's start. We'll start. We've got room for a couple more, but let's not waste time. So first victim, I said, but actually it's a volunteer, is Michael, and Michael wants to be Vixen. Well, you chose the right one. This is the one for you, Michael. In Canada, if we say someone is horny, it means that you really want to have sex. As a mammal famous for your nice horns, does this offend you? Let me type that in here. Now remember,
I'm glad you asked me that question, because in Toastmasters, we never talk about sex, but we talk around sex. And that's the way I am. When people want to address me and they want to tell me something, they want to ask me a question, they talk around it. Some people want to know, Michael, are you married? Of course I'm not married. Michael, do you have a girlfriend? I say, I don't know. We talk around things. We're not quite sure what we say. And sometimes we're known for things we'd not like to be known for. And people who know me, such as Randal and Walter, know me more closely. They know that sometimes people say, Michael, you're very argumentative. You're very loud. I have to talk around that. I don't talk directly to that. So when people say that, should I be offended? My comment back is, you can't offend me. I do so many things wrong, and I've done so many things wrong in 72 years that almost anything you name, except for killing somebody, I have probably already done. So I'm not offended by it, no matter what you say about me, because after you turn and leave, I'm going to laugh at the back of your head for asking such a silly question. Mr. Table Topics Master, back to you.
Thank you very much, Michael. Number 2 up today, we have Sergey coming to us from Ireland. And I have to say something. When Santa calls out to his reindeer, he says, on Dancer, on Prancer, on Comet, on Cupid. So that's something that has to come out here. It's a little bit of, let's see, did that work? Wait, sorry.
Sergey second.
Let me try.
I'm going to use this small little chat to remind you guys that my screen will still be showing you the time for every participant who's then going to be participating in the vote as well. And you'll see the green screen behind myself at the time of 1 minute, 1:30, you'll see the yellow one. And when you're out, 2 minutes is the maximum time. So just to make you aware of the timing we're having. Thanks. Over to you, Randal.
Thank you very much, Walter. So, Sergey, on comment, reindeer love to go for walks. In fact, they can walk up to 5,000 kilometers per year. If you were to plan a long walk as a reindeer, where would you go?
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. It's such an upbeat topic. So, where would I go, being a reindeer with a name Comet? Of course, I would go all the way to the moon. That would be definitely my first choice with such a space name. But if you insist on me staying on the surface of this tiny globe, I would definitely go to Saint Petersburg. That's where I have my friends. That's where I have my parents, and I haven't seen them in 2020 for obvious reasons. I hope reindeers don't have this horrible virus, so I think I'm okay to cross all the borders. And after staying a bit in St. Petersburg, I would go to some warm place like Egypt or even further down south to have a bit of sunshine. I haven't seen sunshine since I don't know when, to quote the famous song about Folsom Prison. So there is a lot of places for decent reindeer to walk to. And I think 5,000 kilometers is quite limiting. I think I would go even further. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. If you came to St. Petersburg today, you would have been shocked because we had some sunshine. So you could have achieved that.
I'll survive.
Next up, we have Anna. Anna Soldatova, you are dancer. And I put in the chat here. On dancer. Although you live in the north now, reindeer used to live as far south as Spain. What would be your impact on Spanish culture if you still lived in Spain, you reindeer?
Fantastic, Randall. I like this question so much. So a big question about reindeer and Spain. And frankly speaking, Spain is my favorite country, and I also know Spanish, and I'm in love with Spanish culture. Um, the first idea about your question, how can I impact on Spanish culture? Maybe it's connecting with my professional activity, but I guess according to European Green Deal, I could be an value asset as a reindeer for Spain, and I can develop a wind power station in Spain to increase usage of renewables there in Spain, and to decrease CO2 emissions in Spain. Moreover, I would like to offer all Spanish animals to reduce their carbon emission. As you know, many animals are the reasons of this problem. So I think we can communicate with each other and deal with this problem. So I think I could be really deal breaker for Spanish with its ecological problem. So I will do my best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You sound like a powerful asset coming to Spain. Do you know how to say reindeer in Spanish? Do you know how to say reindeer in Spanish?
Reindeer in Spanish. Oh, unfortunately, no, I don't know how to say it.
I wonder in Irish how to say reindeer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Maybe in Egypt, maybe in Arabic, we could say reindeer with Rami. Rami, you are Cupid. You are the reindeer named Cupid. Are you ready?
Of course, always.
On Donner. Oh, sorry. What am I doing here? Sorry, that's the wrong one. Let me find Cupid. Sorry.
I'm actually the fourth, so you were right with Donner.
We're only. Let's go back to Irina.
Yeah.
You could
Oh,
go,
we're
yeah.
going to go. We're going to Donner. No, that was planned. That was impromptu. Reindeer herds can be as large as 500,000 animals. That's a lot of reindeer, and you don't have mobile phones. So if for some reason you get lost, how would you find your reindeer family?
All right. I believe all animals have a way of communication, which is not language, the most exquisite means of communication that is, well, people's invention, right? So perhaps some sort of sound that reindeer can produce that can be heard over miles and miles and kilometers. And also, you know, in a bit fairy tale way, perhaps all animal kingdom have some sort of a secret language that people cannot understand. Only reindeer and other animals can. So they can communicate and help each other out and sing songs like in a Disney musical. And then it's all this Disney stuff, you know, which by the end of the adventure, even if you're lost, all the animals urge to help you to get back to your mama and your herd and so on. Although I think mobile phones is not the only means of communication people use, right? We still talk face to face. We still, well, not now during the pandemic, but still we get out. We meet in different places like bars and restaurants. So perhaps reindeer have this as well, some sort of a safe spot where they can meet in case they lose their what are they called? Like the small deer? That
Fawns.
something like this. Yep. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Irina. Now, Cupid. Let's see. Dear Cupid, on Cupid, older male reindeer lose their antlers in December. But artists always show Santa's sleigh in December being pulled by reindeer with antlers. So maybe they're all females. Do you think this is fair?
Of course it's fair. Santa is the fairest person in all of the world. He always gives everyone everything, you know. The reindeer is actually like the male ones. They're on the side. They're giving the energy for everyone to come. They're actually helping the gifts to carry everything on board, and you know, like, and this also actually shows how strong and deep the male reindeer are as well. And I feel like with feminine energy, he's able to deliver all the love to all around the world, especially with all of the boxes and all of the gifts, and to make everyone happy and on time all the time. I mean, you gotta be very punctual in order to deliver all of this love, all of this things on time in one day and the same time. You know, like it's the impossible. You know, you can do it. You can, I mean, through all of this reindeer power. See, so this way you can all get a win-win for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It makes me think very much of my wife and how she wants everything done now, on time, quick, multitasking. Walter, you are Blixen. Mr. Schwarz, you are Blixen. As a reindeer, you're the only mammal in the world that can see ultraviolet light. This is critical in the far north. But how can this help you here in St. Petersburg?
Sorry, clicking to unmute. There we go. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. This is, I think, probably the easiest questions I've ever received, due to the fact that UV light goggles, probably, which I would use or something, would just help me in this fantastic pandemic. Obviously, I would run around the world and save the people through looking at all the bacteria and all the negative stuff which is in the air, and purifying this and giving people a hint where to hide, under which tree, separating those who have it to make sure they're well taken care of, and allowing all the others to attend all the pubs and the clubs and the meetings and corporate events they would love to attend through sharing hugs. And this would be my very task as the reindeer, watching UV bacteria for others. Thank you very much. Back to you, Randal.
Thank you very much, Walter. And now our final participant today is Marina. Marina, you are Dasher. And here goes. If you take a look in the chat. On Dasher, reindeer were born to run. 90 minutes after you were born, you were already running. This certainly keeps you healthy and fit. But what do you do as a reindeer when you need to relax and have a bit of downtime?
That's a great question. Thank you, Randal. This reindeer dasher is really kind of reflects on me because I'm a very active person. I like running, and I can imagine that best relaxation would be somewhere in movement. So even though it's a relaxed time, it should be still active. So I would suggest, even if you're laying down on your sofa, you would still pretend that you're running or you moving your legs. So I believe this is something that helps reindeer to re-energize, because there's a saying that there's no energy is made while you sitting still. Energy is actually made out of some type of movement. So as more you move, as more energy you get. And I think that's a motto of any reindeer who was born on the north. Plus it helps them not to get cold and be always young, fresh, and energetic. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. I can see your couch in the background, and I'm just thinking about a reindeer sitting on it with his legs floating up poking up in the air. It's very vivid. All right, I must now pass the chair back to our Toastmaster of the day, Michael Klaus. And in the meantime, folks, I will be putting we need to know the timers report so I can see who is going to go is eligible for the vote today. And then I will put a link into the group chat. So Walter, could you please tell me, is everybody in time or is anybody out disqualified?
Dear Topics Master Randal, considering the fact that everyone has surpassed the 1 minute mark, with me being on 1:09 and no one having reached the 2 minute mark, everyone from the 7 participants is eligible for the vote. Back to you.
Okay, thank you. And then I pass it over to Michael. Michael.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. Very appropriate for today's meeting, talking about the reindeer. I even visited a reindeer farm down in the Ekaterinburg, Russia, and it was very interesting to see a huge, huge herd of several hundred reindeer down there. So it was very interesting. Okay, we need to turn now to our evaluation of our 3 speeches we had. And today our general evaluator is Konstantin Kuts. Konstantin, did I already ask you for what you wanted underneath your tree? I don't think so, right? I didn't ask you, what would you like to have underneath your tree? What one gift would you like to have, Konstantin?
Well, I already answered you that I want a laptop, but probably then I think...
You did tell me. You did tell me. My apologies. So now you got a second choice. What else would you like to have?
I want a new cell phone.
Okay, cell phone and laptop. Those are quite popular this year, so there's a lot of those floating around. Mr. General Evaluator, I need for you to take over the meeting and talk to your 3 evaluators and find out the feedback we're going to get on our speeches. So it's over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. So Today, guys, we have been listening to many speeches and also been through table topics. Overall, everything is matching the main topic, the main theme of the day. As you can see on all of us in the group chat, we are all prepared for the upcoming Christmas holidays. We have, I believe, everyone has a Christmas mood, and to continue the meeting, I would like to give a word to our first evaluator, which is, who's gonna be the first evaluator? Walter. Walter, please continue and give us your thoughts.
There we go. Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you very much, Konstantin, for introducing the general evaluation section. I would like to kick off and evaluate our very speaker, Santa Claus second of today, who is Rami. Wrapping up Rami's evaluation, I would like to emphasize, first of all, that I'm going to speak to Rami directly. Dear Rami, you've asked me before your speech to be very harsh, very direct, and have no mercy with you. I need to emphasize that. I'm going to split your evaluation into two parts. Number one, you excelled very much in the organization of your talk. You've done a very good job in being active and engaging, because I think you were standing, you were moving your hands, you were taking as the audience on tour with your very goal, coming to Russia. Considering the structure, you've managed very well to name 3 bullet points, which you pointed up and made us easy to follow the very structure of your thought line. Location it was, purpose, and something in between. That doesn't matter. Having said that, you, considering the time, obviously, had a very fast approach into your speech. And this very speed somehow made it, for me personally, difficult to reframe what exactly was the very message you were guiding me through. I needed to rethink about that. You could, using a stop or a word or a break for this very moment, to emphasizing and bringing the audience back to you on a very special point, as you managed very well with figuring out the 3 things. I remember purpose, second break, place, location. For the human brain, makes it very easy to chew, to digest, and to follow through with you. On that, very good, and totally get the goal of a structured research and present of content. The second part will be short and crisp, which was the humor. Maybe it's me, but I didn't see it. I have no idea. Did you try the nerdy jokes? Did you try the sarcasm, which is probably my very subject? Did you try the silly jokes with being the Christmas guy today? I had no idea where this thing was. Maybe you left it. I don't know. Considering this fact, humor is a very subjective thing, and it depends on the audience and who you want to give the jokes to. So maybe a goal or a hint on that: be authentic and emphasize those things which you think is funny in terms of your topic. And this maybe should be a very good entrance then to move into a style of humor which you'd rather prefer. Thank you very much. Continue your growth. Back to general evaluator. Thank you, Ram.
Thank you, Walter. Very nice feedback. Let me give the word to our second evaluator, Valeria Kholodkova. Valeria Kholodkova, please continue.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, dear Irina, dear Toastmasters. Well, communication does work for those who work at it, and Irina proved that today. The purpose of the project was to learn to identify and to introduce your her primary major communication style to the audience. And I would say that mission was totally complete. Thank you for that. I would also say that I really like the straightforwardness and the directness of your approach to the audience in your speech, which corresponds perfectly well with this communicational style you have chosen. And I totally love the manner of your delivery. You are very confident, you are very calm, and you're very positive. It is very, very easy to follow what you're saying. So to sum up the major part, I would say that the purpose, the goal of the project was complete, and I want to congratulate you with that. However, each speech can become better at some points, and now I would like to say something that you may consider for the next project to make them even better than this one. Communication is sometimes not what you first hear. Communication is not just words. Communication is for the reason. So when I was listening to you, I was looking for the reason why this project could be important to me. What's in it for me? Why should I follow you? What is the zest in your speech for myself? In Toastmasters, we constantly need to relate to the audience. The audience is friendly. The audience is very receptive. However, we need to build this bridge in between myself, yourself, and us. And I somehow lacked this bridge, this meeting, since you probably didn't build it the way you could have built. We are students. We were students. Some of us are teachers. We all have family. We all have friends to communicate. We all have those situations that you could have related to us to make us follow you even better. What I would say that you could have added as well is some personal stories, because what is the life of a teacher? How do you communicate with students? You did manage to show us the structure really well, giving 3 points, pluses and pros and cons for each, but you didn't relate with the story. It would be so wonderful to plunge into the story and feel like a teacher, feel like a student that has some problems in communicating and how to solve them, feel like a husband or a friend that can communicate with you better. So for the next time, probably add a bit more personality, add a bit more situations for us to feel your situation better. To sum it up, wonderful, positive approach, mission complete, and add more personality, and always think about the bridge in between you and us. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Valeria. And we're moving forward for our third evaluator, which is Walter again. Welcome, Walter.
Yes, thank you very much, Konstantin, for introducing me as the third evaluator. And I'm looking forward to provide my very personal evaluation to our very guest from Japan, Shinsaku. Dear Shinsaku, I am so glad that you spoke to us because foreign people, and especially from Japan, I think we are not having very often. And I'm going to be still very honest with you as well. I think you've done a fantastic job today, because it takes a lot of courage and a lot of motivation and a lot of self-control to speak up to a very new group, first of all. Secondly, once a person is not in his native language, it makes it much more stressful to coming up with the topic and speaking to an audience. So chapeau and very much respect for your motivation. Let's look at what your fact-finding report requirements are looking here. Considering the fact that your task was to provide a report on a situational information, I was looking for receiving a more structural way. And what I'm saying is, I understand how difficult it is to come up and provide a speech in a native language you're not fluently with yet. And your courage and engagement with even not the very perfect skill set yet, I believe would have helped you if you used more visual aids. Say if your English level is not at the very fluent one, when critical words can be popped up towards the audience to provide the content, you, I think, would be better off at this stage using a slide or a PowerPoint presentation, which helps you as well to deliver your content much faster and much more structural. Considering this way as well, having probably a bit more insights into the pronunciation, I saw the audience and I saw myself trying to catch up the examples which you provided with the Romanovs and with the girls and with a man, or when you refer to as she. But it was very difficult for me to really find the idea where it all comes together. And this is probably because I'm not familiar with the Japanese pronunciation. But as I say, you could overcome this bridge even by transferring this content with using visual aids. And then you would have much more resources of delivering 1 or 2 levels above where you are now. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon. All the best to you. Shinsaku.
Thank you, Walter. Great evaluation as well. Let me proceed to my evaluation of today's meeting. And first things first, I want to give a big round of applause to everyone who participated today, because it was a nice Christmassy themed event, and it's probably my first event here in December, which is very early, which is considered very early in Russia, but usually most of the world starts to celebrate Christmas maybe from October. But anyway, it's always nice to boost your holidays mood as early as it is possible. The meeting started a bit later than it's supposed to be, but most of the people was on time, and we even have had a quick chat before the meeting. Guests were greeted, which is good, and also informed about the Toastmasters meeting, how it goes, and that's a big thumb. Yeah, most of the roles are filled, and that is good as well. Officers were prepared and organized. Everyone was properly introduced, and let's talk about the roles in one by one. So what I can say about Michael. Michael was organized, about our Toastmaster of the day, Michael. Michael was organized, prepared, and very enthusiastic as always. It was a very smart move to ask about our greedy wishes and singing the songs together. Very nice done, sir. Thank you so much. Although personally, I'm a bit confused because we have 2 Santas on today's event, and Santa is a one guy, so it's supposed to be one role. Otherwise, his magic starts to fade. Keep it in mind, and as a growing point, I suggest to you guys to discuss the agenda and the roles in advance, so we can avoid our laps in the future. Let's talk about our table topics master. Randal did a good job with historical references and giving us some background about Santa's deers. It's very nice to have those in our meetings. Table topics were properly managed. Very well done, sir, as well. What else? Yeah, topics were properly explained, and our guests got an opportunity to participate in table topics, as Michael encouraged them to do so. General evaluator did a good job today. It's his first time, so don't look at me don't take for granted my confusion. Very good, very nice event today, guys. Another growing point is to catch a ball and take the opportunity to play a role during the meeting. It looks not a really professional than at Toastmasters wears many hats at the same time, because there are many of us today, and if you see that you can take another role, just give it a try, get it a chance. Overall, my score for today's event is 9 from 7. Cool. Thank you for a beat performance and using the word of the day, and have a great Christmas holidays. Back to Michael.
Thank you very much, Konstantin. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate your score on our performance, and we all try to chime in. And you should have been at a meeting I was at 2 days ago over in Poland. We had 6 people with Santa Claus hats on. So we had many, many, many people who were all there joined in together. Today's meeting is all about Christmas. As I mentioned earlier, Christmas is not a day, it's not a song, it's about happiness all year long. And that's what we need to keep in mind. As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm going to have to step out. I have something very important that I have to do here shortly. In another minute and a half, I'm going to be leaving. But I want to thank everybody that's here. And I want to wish all of you a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope that Walter will continue, get the voting for the evaluators, and then present the awards for speech and evaluator, and then continue the meeting. And I have already marked down what I'll do next at the next meeting. So that's already in there. I've taken care of that chore. For all of you, if you have any questions over the holidays and next 2 weeks, or anything you want to talk about, please feel free to chat. Feel free to contact me. I'll be happy to talk to you about your future speeches, what you're going to do, about joining the club, anything you might have on your mind. I'll be glad to talk to you over the next couple of weeks. I'll be here and I will answer you quickly. To all of you, very, very Merry Christmas. I wish you the world's best, and I'll see you around the corner when the year turns. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you very, very much, Michael. Have a good day, and speak to you very soon. Bye-bye, Michael Klaus. I want to hand over and speed up because we're running out of time a lot. So I'm going to continue and hand over to our grammarian, Alexander Kim, for the grammarian's report once you are ready.
Thank you, Walter. I'd like to keep it very short as well. There are lots of stuff that I put out there, but the first thing that I noticed is Rami's analogy. I personally love them. So when he referred to the hot drink, he said lava drink. Very love it very much. I'll steal that one. So sorry, I'm not ashamed of it. Irina in her speech mentioned how her job shaped her communication style. She also mentioned how the students' eyes are turned to her, referring to the leadership that she mentioned briefly before that. And personally, my favorite one, I can be blindfolded, meaning I can be wrong, I can be biased about something. One thing that I've noticed was also mentioned, and this is probably the only misusage, but it's very difficult to say that it's a misusage, as I may be blindfolded, but Irina said Netflix and chill when she referred to the best weekend that she might have. And she said she's like an introvert or something. Well, as far as I know, Netflix and chill might mean something different, something one may say naughty. So be careful when you use Netflix and chill, because I definitely thought of something different. And as far as I know, Irina mentioned like the direct meaning, like Netflix and chill. Among other good usages, I would like to point out Anna Soldatova, who said valuable asset, being a deal breaker, obviously. Valeria Kholodkova mentioned the word gist that I haven't heard for a while. And the last one that I've heard is, I might be wrong again, chapeau, when Walter kind of imitated that he puts down his hat. I'm not sure if it might be French or something, but chapeau. I guess it means like put down my hat in like respect. Word of the day, a bit. It was mentioned by several members. Michael, Sergey, and Konstantin used it, but the clear winner is Rami, who managed to say it 4 times in a couple of minutes, I guess. Maybe I missed more usages, but Rami is a clear winner. He will receive a present as I promised him very, very soon. That's it for me. Back to you, Walter. Thank you.
I'm glad. Thank you very much, Mr. Grammarian, for these very insights of our performance today. Handing over to the A Counters report, which would be Sergey Udaltsov from Ireland. Sergey, whenever you're ready.
Thank you very much. So I can only sing a bit. I and ums couch words all the way. Oh, what fun it is to count what other people say. So that's what I did today. It was really good meeting. I was feeling like I'm making the bad list for Santa. And I don't want to pass that list to Santa. I want everybody to get the presents. All I can say is that there were less than 50 usage of crotch words and all unnecessary sounds today. Of course, the people who used the most were the people who were making speeches, and our esteemed general evaluator used quite a bit, but considering that it was his first time as general evaluator, Konstantin did really great. The special word of the meeting, crotch word of the meeting, was the word oh ho ho, and it was used 3 times. But that's probably because it's the season of the year. And I'm really impressed that the language is so clean here. For most of the people, English is not native, including myself. And I've seen much worse meetings among native English speakers here in Ireland in terms of all these unnecessary sounds. So well done to everybody. Thank you.
My button stuck, sorry. Thank you very much, Mr. A Counters report, and we're going to move on very fast to our Rami Quizmaster of the day, who's waiting there for a while. Rami, all yours with your quizzes.
So now we're gonna see who has been listening and who deserves a gift. So what's today's theme? I want you to please write it down in the chat box. And the first one is the winner. Bravo. So we have Irina. Christmas, yes. What is Walter's perfect gift? Please write in the chat box. Yes, Irina. Yes, Randal. Nothing. Lovely. Nothing. Yes, true. So Marina Volodchenko. Nothing. Yes, true. What's Konstantin's perfect gift? Laptop. Bravo. We have Randal. Yes. What in Shinsaku's speech, what royal family, Russian royal family, was he referring to? Romanov, correct. Irina, bravo. Where would Sergey go as a reindeer? Saint Petersburg, that's correct, Konstantin. Egypt, no. Which culture was Anna Soldatova loving? Spanish, correct. You're my joke master. Alexander King. And so we have also in Marina Volodchenko's speech, what was she preferring to do on the couch? What's the best thing to do on when you're sitting on the couch? In order to keep your energy, what should you do when you're sitting on the couch? Move her legs, correct, Randal. Okay, thank you everyone. You've been listening and excellent work. Okay, back to you, Walter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Quizmaster. Thank you very much for this very task of active listening. I very much appreciate that because that makes our neurons fire a little bit more when we need to type into the chat and see what actually everyone said, and that helps us to reverse the entire meeting through and through and going deep into the topics which we discovered today. Moving ahead, we would continue with the general evaluator, Konstantin Kuts, according to the agenda. But double check, I think, Konstantin, you've said everything you wanted, or is there anything we missed?
Yeah, I can confirm that the agenda fits the agenda, fits the the actual what actually happened. So I want to just conclude the meeting with another round of applause and say thank you to everyone that you brought your energy here today and made this event happen.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Konstantin, once again for the evaluation and summing things up. I'm going to look now at the topic master and the ballot counter, Randal Eastman, and I'm going to ask him if the ballots are...
Ballots are counted. Ballots are counted, and if you allow me, I will share screen and you can see the result.
Yes, please let us do this because we are waiting. Oh, the Saint Petersburg Toastmasters 12th of December awards are going to...
So first award.
Hold on. We're starting with the Best Evaluator Award of the day. And now, guys, I would like to use your fingers and tapping on the table, creating the drums. Valeria Kholodkova! But I'm not sure if she's still in or she...
No, she's not here, but yeah.
Okay,
we can still cheer. We can still
cheer. Yeah, we still can cheer. Yes, I'm just trying if I need to search her face to congratulate directly. But then in absence, very well done. The Best Table Topics Award from today is going to be moving forward and declared for Irina Soldatova, or as we used to say with the English connotation, Anna Soldatova. Moving ahead with the number 3 award of today. Thank you, Mr. Slide Mover, for the Best Speaker Award, which is going to be presented to Irina Nosova. Or Irina Nosova, поздравляем тебя, всего хорошего.
Спасибо.
Congratulations to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for participating and being with us today. Our Michael Wader, or Christmas Mike, is off duty already, so I'm going to take over from him and just have small little closing remarks. Dear gents and ladies and gentlemen, I am not sure yet if we will have the next meeting on 25th of December, just due to the sheer fact that this is a Christian holiday, and I don't know if a lot of attendants will be here to fill all the roles which are required to fill the agenda. If you will see the announcement, then it will take place. I think in a couple of days we'll have this sorted. If not, then only in New Year of 2021. I am going to quickly thank you very much for attending this very meeting. Also for the guests, thank you very much, Shinsaku, for joining us from Japan. Thank you very much to Marina, who's still our guest, Volodchenko, if that's correct. Thank you very much, Valeria Gagarina, for being with us today. If you have any questions on how to proceed becoming a member, please just refer to me or to Randal. or to Rami, and then we'll help you out getting in contact. Do you have any contact details, emails?
I do have questions and I have
Go ahead.
emails, so I just email it to you or Randal.
Perfect. That's
Okay.
very good.
That was a question. That was a question.
Oh, was it? I thought you just did emailed?
No, send to Walter. He's the president.
Can you please repeat? I think I misinterpreted your comment, Valeria Gagarina.
No, I didn't email yet. I will.
All right. Do you have the emails? Do you have
I
the
do.
email address?
Yes, I do have it.
Perfect. Thank you very much for sorting this out. I thought you have already done so. Good. Then we're looking forward to hear from you as well. If you have some questions, just place them. Apart from that, I would like just some members to stick with us for a couple of minutes so I can erase some topics. For everyone else, you have a very, very nice Christmas. Thank God it is snowing already, so we might in Russia receive some more snow. For the Irish guys, just look at the live stream, which you can find on the internet, in case you have no snowflakes for Sergey Udaltsov. And yes, I'm going to leave out 1 or 2 minutes for the guests to comment if you have something to say.
I just want to say thank you very much. It was a great time, and I will definitely contact you to sign up, and also wish Merry Christmas to everyone, Happy New Year, and see you later. And bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Valeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for this meeting, and I really like that it had its own theme, and everyone is so active and participating, and it's just amazing to be in this group. Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas and upcoming New Year.
Thank you very much, Marina. Be safe. Stay tuned in St. Petersburg.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.